Hey, Angus here. Are you strong enough? So I created a spreadsheet called Structural Balance, and it's based on the work of Charles Poliquin. And I tested this spreadsheet on some of the greatest athletes in the world, like Rich Froning, Matt Fraser, and some other athletes. I like the CrossFit athletes because they're really well balanced, they're really well structured. It also works on high-level powerlifters. They just are a lot stronger. But again, even with their strength. Then you get some freak athletes that it just does not work in because they're either perfectly built for bench press or perfectly built for deadlift. So their deadlift's very high, but their bench press is a bit uneven. But for the general population, the spreadsheet works brilliantly. It's linked below. It's called Structural Balance. What you do is you've got two options. You can put in your body weight and it will spew out a bunch of information, or you can put in your 1 rep max back squat and it will spew out your information based on your back squat. And I've got it categorized in different levels. So what you do is you have a look and go, right, my bench press is 120, but my squat is 80. So my squat is in this column and my bench is in this column. You want ideally everything in one column. So some things can be overdeveloped. You don't need to work on those anymore. Well done, you got the best bench press in the world. You don't need to work on that anymore. You need to bring the other things up, because what happens is if you're overly strong at push but not particularly good at pull, you're going to be rounded forward. You're going to have a problem. If you're overly strong in the upper body but weak in the lower body, your lower back has to make up the difference, and that's going to hurt. There is also the Olympic lifts. So a lot of people will be way under in Olympic lifts, and it's not because they're not strong enough, it's because they're not technically good at the Olympic lifts. So you can see the deficit there in the Olympic lifts. Why I have it a different color in the spreadsheet is because most people just don't have the technical skill to improve. The rest of the lifts don't require that much skill. Yes, they require mobility, so if you don't particularly have the mobility in the movement, you're gonna run into problems. You're gonna see things so just think about the exercises and what muscles they use, and then, hey, am I quad dominant or hamstring dominant? Am I better at deadlift movements than quad movements? Am I better at pushing and pulling? Is my upper body lower or better? Another thing you'll notice is, how does your bench press stack up with your overhead press? A lot of people, their bench press is held back because their overhead pressing power isn't quite where they need, or their overhead pressing power is overdeveloped and their chest is underdeveloped. So you'll find out all kinds of things, but what you really need to do is just be in one column. If you're in one column, you will make better fitness gains, you'll have a less injury, and this spreadsheet, you can try it with all your mates. It's actually super cheap. So check it out.